What's up guys, this is Bailey Stein with Android Authority, and today we'll be checking out Xiaomi's latest flagship smartphone, the Mi 5. It's rocking a Snapdragon 820, and it's relatively inexpensive at around $300 in China. We've been using it for the past couple of weeks, and without any further ado, let's get started with our full review. The Mi 5's design balances the best of previous flagships like the 3D glass of the Mi Note with fresh design aspects such as the physical home button, the curved Gorilla Glass 4 rear, angular metal frame, and illusionary bezel-less display combine to form a recognizably flagship design. And good looks aren't the only thing that the Mi 5 has going for it, as the phone is also very comfortable and easy to hold in the hand thanks to the glass rear and gradual curves. Outside of form, details like the Mi 5's tactile power and volume keys, as well as its flush camera optics, are notably well implemented. The symmetrical bottom frame design is visually pleasing, and the IR blaster on the top of the device is very nice for controlling televisions and household appliances. Unfortunately, the glass back can have its drawbacks. It's very slippery on many soft surfaces, and it can be a fingerprint magnet, especially if you purchase the black model. The Mi 5's one-handed usability is improved even further by its relatively small 5.15-inch display. While some are disappointed that Xiaomi has gone with 1080p instead of Quad HD, we here at Android Authority are still very happy to see 1080p, especially at this size. 1080p panels are cheaper, use less power, and the vast majority of users won't be able to tell the difference compared to Quad HD anyway. Besides, it's not all about resolution, and Xiaomi has proven that with vibrant and saturated colors, deep blacks, great contrast, and excellent viewing angles. Sunlight readability was also very good in our testing, as was the adaptive brightness feature. Regardless of the variant you purchase, you'll be getting a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 under the hood, which is one of the best ARM chips currently available. And that's very apparent when using the Mi 5 even for just a minute. Performance was very impressive even on our base model. Coupled with the also very impressive Adreno 530, the Mi 5 was able to play every game we threw at it with ease. Calls sounded excellent for us on the Mi 5, and callers also said they heard us loud and clear. And here are the frequencies that the Mi 5 supports. Do keep in mind that this is an unlocked dual SIM device. If you are in the US, you'll be missing out on 4G LTE, but we'll be able to receive HSPA Plus in all areas when using AT&T and most areas when using T-Mobile. Xiaomi has embedded a fingerprint reader within the physical home button, which is very accurate and incredibly fast, beating the Nexus 6P in nearly all of our tests. Oftentimes, the lock screen is visible only for less than about 1/10 of a second, if at all. Although there are two speaker grills at the bottom of the device, the left is presumably a microphone as sound is only emitted from the right grill. The speaker isn't bad, it's definitely better than the one found on the Galaxy S7 in terms of both volume and quality, but its side position and very minor distortion may be disappointing. Xiaomi did adopt the USB Type-C 1.0 standard with the Mi 5, which we were happy to see. There's also Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 on board, and you can even get nearly 85% in nearly 30 minutes with a 3.0 charger. Unfortunately, the charger included in the box is only Quick Charge 2.0 compliant. Battery life was very impressive thanks to the 3000 mAh high-density battery. We had no trouble getting the Mi 5 to last through a full day of use, and always ended with very good screen on-time values comparable to those produced by the Galaxy S7. Average users will have no trouble using the Mi 5 for a full day and then some, which is not always the case with even higher-end smartphones. The Mi 5's 16-megapixel f2.0 Sony rear camera performed very well in ideal conditions. Images came out sharp and detailed with a good amount of dynamic range. The color reproduction is also very pleasing, with just the right amount of saturation. Although there is an HDR mode, which works quite nicely, we never really felt the need to use it as the default auto mode performs well enough. There's also a dual LED flash on the back, which does help even out skin tones. The 4-axis optical image stabilization does help quite a bit in ensuring less motion blur, but it helps even more in low-light situations. Unfortunately, the camera does not do as well in darker environments, and we would consider it mediocre relative to other flagships. Digital noise is sadly present and almost always noticeable, and great aspects during the day like great color reproduction and detailed images are unfortunately compromised. That's not to say it's terrible in low light, but it's just not as impressive as the Galaxy S7 or Nexus 6P. The 4-megapixel f2.0 front-facing camera also performed well, especially with its larger pixel size. The camera software is also what we would expect from a flagship in terms of quality, with a variety of different filters, many different modes, and control over white balance, focus, exposure time, and ISO in manual mode. If you're not interested in tweaking all of those settings, the auto mode is easy to use and produces great results. The Mi 5 is running Xiaomi's custom version of Android, MIUI. More specifically, it's running MIUI 7 over Android 6.0 Marshmallow. While many have dismissed MIUI as being too similar to iOS, few have highlighted Xiaomi's attention to detail and the amount of customization MIUI offers throughout. For example, MIUI has a respectable theme store allowing users to change the look of the entire UI. There's also advanced features built in, like call recording and scheduled battery profile changes. If you are importing the device from China, there's a good chance that your device will come pre-installed with bloatware and possibly even malware, so it's a good idea to flash the global ROM in order to return to stock MIUI with Google Apps and Services and the ability to receive Xiaomi's weekly updates. However, Xiaomi has started blocking bootloaders, and some resellers have blocked updating through the Updater app. So you'll have to unlock the bootloader if you want to avoid potential malware, a process which can take up to 10 days and remove some features like Xiaomi's Find My Device. We were also disappointed to find that many of the features introduced in Marshmallow and even Lollipop are still missing in MIUI. Google's Now on Tap, multi-user support, and tabbed windows for apps are nowhere to be found, at least in MIUI's current iteration. The Xiaomi Mi 5 is now available within China.
You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China.
In a few models, starting at 1,999 RMB or about $310. Each model is available in either white, black, or gold, and comes with either 32, 64, or 128 gigabytes of non-expandable storage. The Mi 5 is an excellent phone. It undercuts the best smartphones in price, but not nearly as much in features. Although its lack of US availability and 4G LTE support are a major hurdle for some, its low-light camera may be somewhat disappointing for a flagship, and MIUI could use a few updates. There's a lot to love about the Mi 5. The Mi 5's design, display, performance, hardware, battery life, camera, and software impressed us overall, which is astonishing at this price point. Xiaomi has yet again raised the bar for what an affordable smartphone should be, which is why we strongly believe that you should consider this as your next smartphone. If you are interested in learning more about the Xiaomi Mi 5, we have an even more comprehensive review up on Android Authority, with benchmark scores, battery life screenshots, more camera samples, and a detailed look into MIUI. Thank you for watching our video review of the Xiaomi Mi 5. If you have any questions about this device or anything else Android related, please do hit us up on Snapchat to have a chance at being featured in our upcoming Snapchat Q&A show. Finally, be sure to visit the Android Authority website, as we are your source for all things Android.